Good morning, welcome to your morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 19th of June. So let's get on and look at these markets, and actually before we do, let's look at the news events that are coming out today. So US bank holiday today. Which one is it? Oh yeah, Juneteenth. So we'll see. Generally volume's lower. I haven't seen a lot of I'm not sure all the markets are actually closed today, so I'm not expecting a major slowdown there. Still, we've got the European session to kick off with. So, what else we have? So this week, I'm just having a quick look at the week as we run through here. It's important to sort of be looking ahead a little bit. There's monetary policy meeting minutes on Tuesday morning for the Aussie dollar. We've got Fed Chair Powell testifying on the Wednesday 21st, and Canadian retail sales there on Wednesday. And then we've got of course, the Bank of England meeting coming up at 12 o'clock. The results of the meeting coming up at 12 o'clock on Thursday. And then we've got the flash manufacturing services data all out on Friday. That's right the way through Europe, UK, US. So quite a day to come out there on Friday. Busy day. Right, let's get on and look at these markets. There's the Bank of England decision aside, which is expected to be at least another 0.25%. Well, another 0.25%. There's not too much there. Right, let's look at the markets themselves. And you start off the US dollar. It's a key point I'm seeing here through many of these markets. This is one that run up to its monthly R1 on the euro dollar. It did actually break through its 1, 2, and 3 on the weeklies last week. It's just a bit of stalling going on. Now, I don't like shorting at the highs at all, and it's sort of. I'm just going to go to a dollar index and just see where we're sitting with this. So dollar index has sold off. It's into its S1, so it's inverted. The euro dollar and the dollar index is very much an inverted market of one another. Very tight correlation. Inverted correlation, that is. Okay. Oops, it's gone too far the wrong way. There we go. So there is this sort of bit of resistance kicking in there. We did see Friday a little bit of softness, but I don't know. Maybe it will continue to push up. But at the moment, consolidated sideward, not much I can do there. But talk about markets running into resistance. We're running on the monthly side of things. We run into the R2 on the pound here, and it's just looking like it's having a bit of an effect on that. There's the R2 above. That's also the so that's the yearlies. So that's a quarterly R2 sitting there as well. So quite a significant. So you got your quarterly, you had your quarterly, your daily R1, quarterly R2, and your monthly. So quite a lot of resistance sitting around there. Having said that, it's come off of it, but just sitting there consolidating at this phase. So maybe it will bounce and continue pushing through here. US dollar yen. Well, yen's away from its everything, and even if it runs through its monthly R1 because it hasn't hit the monthly pivot, there's potential for the continuation. One thing I would say here is this little wedge here. The price action that's come out of the wedge is pretty much exhausted the what we'd expect out of such a move, but doesn't say it won't continue. It's still looking quite soft here at the moment, but between a rock and a hard place, it might be nice if it would come down into some support, although I guess you could say it's come back to the prior highs there. See how it goes, but It's looked a bit iffy at times. Now the Aussie dollar, again, it's into its yearly pivot here. It's had a reaction off the yearly pivot, a bit more of a reaction this morning following through from that a correction there, but lower highs, lower lows starting through. Structurally it looks a bit of a change potential, and this is one of the markets I think is so out of step with the sentiment. However, so long as it's pushing up, it's pushing up. These guys with the big money can have big deep pockets. US dollar CAD. Now this again down to an S2 here. So on a lot of these key currency pairs, we've got resistance, or in this case support, kicking in there, but that isn't just a go ahead and start trading the opposite side of these moves. The Canadian dollar is certainly pushing further south there. I mean, everything we're seeing fundamentally sort of ties in and agrees with the movement, really, so can't be pushing too much off this at the moment. Maybe you see a continuation to the downside post 8 o'clock. We're just seeing a little rally at the moment, but it's a very short term rally. New Zealand dollar's second weakest this morning, and it's again barely sort of come back to this. This one fell short of points of resistance. I was looking at this on Friday against the Canadian dollar, which was holding up pretty well. So nothing there. I will take you to New Zealand CAD. I was waiting for this on Friday to. I was looking for a break of the lows here. It might still come. So this is a market that's been chopping down pretty well. It's run into its monthly pivot. It's reacted from that. It's got a little bounce going on at the moment. It's got its lower highs coming in through here. I was just waiting for this sort of lower high to confirm, but it was quite late on Friday when it did it, so I left that for then. But now well, I'll have a look at it today and see if it livens back up again. Quite like the short side here. Probably about the best opportunity I'm really seeing at the moment is that's not against the trend effectively. Euro CAD, did I get onto that? Well, this is a similar-ish picture here. We've got the sort of bear flag sort of sitting there. It's not the neatest of movements, but again, this morning, if we see this rolling over further, it all fits in trend. I've got a specific entry for at the moment, but we'll come back and look at that. It might be today, might be tomorrow. Just wait until it sort of kicks off down again. A lower high here on the 4 hourlies would be a starting point, maybe, for further downside. It's already obviously started this move down at the moment. Yeah, we'll see how it shapes up. I'm looking at it more on the bigger time frame. The shorter time frame can be a bit noisy at times. Pound Aussie, pound CAD, not really interested. Pound yen is still pushing up like a good one. Again, running into some resistance, but this isn't a signal for me to be selling, as I know a lot of people will want to be selling off that, but hasn't really put anything bearish in there at the moment. So overall, looking bullish. So for me at the moment, New Zealand CAD looks, we'll see how it shapes up this morning, but that possibly looks like one of the better candidates. It's looking at one of the softest markets against one of what's been the strongest markets. We'll see how it develops. Right, let's look at the other markets here, running into the gold first. Now gold's made a bit of a recovery, but not much actually. In fact, they're just looking at it on a daily picture here. The bit of recovery was very little. It was pushing up a bit on Thursday into Friday, but really looks quite ugly at this stage. It really looks quite soft still. Generally, when we're seeing a weaker dollar, we're seeing a stronger price of gold, but it's coming off here at the moment, looking quite soft and probably best avoided. Oil again, it's got into this horrible range, and it sort of it picked up on Friday and pushed up again, but again, it's, you look at these markets, they're so choppy, they're probably best left. Looking at the indices then, is CSI 300. So looking at this on Friday and wondering whether we're going to see a bit more of a turn, perhaps a bit of a bounce off the monthly pivot there would be quite a nice little retracement and a bounce and continuation, but largely it's still in a downward trend. The Nikkei, no surprise here to see a bit of a correction. We've seen it run up so much there, a bit of a correction overnight through the Asian session there. It's but it's still very bullish. The Nifty 50 also a bit of a correction. So in fact, looking through most of the markets, there's been a bit of a correction, but here the trend's still very strong. Aussie 200 saw the breakout on Friday. It's really just moved down a little bit and continued pushing up in this today's trading. Okay, S&Ps still very solid, again coming into some resistance. We're running just short of the R3, but these markets are pushing and pushing. We've also got the quarterly R2, R2 we were just running into at that point. So it has got some resistance around where it's sitting. Lower time frames got quite choppy, and as we closed towards the end of Friday, sold off a little bit, maybe a bit of profit taking before the weekend. Largely though, this is a bullish market. I wouldn't try to be shorting this. Been seeing big money come in this over the last few weeks again, so it's probably the most likely to continue pushing up there, with interest rates in the US possibly not that many to come. Bullish or hawkish outlook with a dovish stance last week when you look back at it. Dow Jones again largely pushing up with sort of it's a huge head and shouldery sort of pattern here. Is it going to carry on pushing through? Bouncing off its weekly pivot at the moment. I just wouldn't want to be trading against these, even though this is the ugliest one. Wouldn't want to be trading against these markets at the moment. Likewise NASDAQ, yep, I mean it's come off a little bit, and I'm sure there'll be people looking at this thinking, well, that's it, it's all done. We've seen it time and time again with these markets, how they carry on pushing through. We're seeing this coming back to its absolute highs, pretty much, isn't it? Right back to it, towards its highs there. So solid old move up there. So let it be, or trade with it. DAX on Friday carried on, actually pitched through into a new high. However, this morning so far it's selling off, but it doesn't take too much to push this around. It's just short of its weekly pivot. That would have been a nice support area if it had got into it, but for now, it's just picking up a little. Still very much, so it's backing into the bullish zone for sure. So as much as many of these markets were off this morning, the FTSE is the same, although the FTSE just looks ugly anyway. It's got quite ugly in comparison to the other markets. Everything sold off a bit on Friday in the end. This came off and looks quite ugly in terms of the overall shape. Yep, not a good looking market there at all at the moment. Okay, indices a bit iffy, but more expected to continue in summary. And finally, the good old crypto market. What's happened? What the boys been up to? Where the market's been pretty much away. Well, Saturday, Sunday, not done a great deal at all. Bit of consolidation, arguably, on Bitcoin there. Ethereum, similar thing here, but these are very much looking like they're sort of downward markets, so not looking the best at all. Just looking through all of these. Yep, still looking. I mean, the consolidation it's sitting, this just really is pure consolidation. So all looking pretty soft on the crypto still. So there we go. That's it for me today. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.